Hello. I'm traveling at the moment. I don't have the best audio setup, so hopefully this audio is enough. But if this video found you, most likely it's for you, but use your discernment. Don't make it fit. Okay? Let's see. Two of Swords. This is a brand new deck, first time I'm using it. There we go. You are at a crossroads. Oh, okay. I am talking to a high priestess. I don't know where to look, honestly. I'm talking to a high priestess. You are very intuitive. I'm speaking with a divine feminine. I can feel that. There we go. And you're at a crossroads right now. And I feel that you are being pulled. I just heard between two worlds. There are two worlds which you're navigating right now. The spiritual world and the earthly world, I heard. And you are at a crossroads. Your life right now is the cross point, is the X point between the spiritual world and the physical world. And what that's telling me is that there's a side of your life that's deeply spiritual, and there's a part of your life that's deeply rooted in the earthly realm, i.e. via your job, via some relationships that you may have, people that are not spiritual at all. Yeah. And you have a feeling of being kind of stuck in between the two worlds. And there's this feeling of you really wanting to devote yourself to the spiritual path and make a living from the spiritual reality versus making a living, i.e. maintaining your lifestyle from the earthly job that you have, or however it is that you acquire the means to live the lifestyle that you live. There's this desire that I feel from you. And Spirit is saying that the reason that you feel this, I don't know where to look. The reason that you feel this desire is for a reason, and it's because you are about to embark on a journey which will take you out from the crossroads. And I didn't want to say that. It will make you choose one or the other. And when I mean one or the other, it's not either the spiritual path or continuing to live in the earthly world. No, it's the spiritual path, i.e. continuing to live and thrive in the spiritual world because you're already a deeply spiritual person, but also allowing you to make money from living in the spiritual world, meaning you can fully sustain yourself and maintain your world, maintain your lifestyle in the earth, in the earthly realm, through that spiritual path. Versus the other option, which is not just staying in the physical world, it's staying at the crossroads. So it's staying at that stuck point where you feel that you are a spiritual person and you engage in spiritual practices and, you allow yourself to be guided, but to a point, because you still hold on to the means via which you make money, which is rooted in the earthly realm. It's via a very earthly means. Okay. I'm hearing make you choose, make you choose, make you choose. And I'm resisting saying that because I always feel like you can't make a wrong choice. So it's definitely not to add pressure to you to make the right choice, because there is no right or wrong choice. But the reason that you feel stagnant is because there's a journey up ahead of you that's calling you, I believe, towards that spiritual path. And you are allowed to choose to resist it. Okay? You can choose to fully surrender into it and choose it and go down that road that you're being called to go down. But you can also choose to remain here, to remain at that, stagnancy. I'm calling it stagnancy because that's what I'm picking up that you feel. You feel that stagnancy. You're caught between the two worlds. You can choose to stay here because I get the feeling that your life is still comfortable. Your life is still thriving. Maybe it's not 100% fulfilling in your soul. And the reason it's not 100% fulfilling and the reason you feel that stagnancy is because you're being pulled in the spiritual direction. You're being pulled to go on the journey. But you can choose to stay here. Okay? Make you choose, make you choose, make you choose. You have free will. Okay? You have free will. You can choose. I heard you can choose baddie. Guys, I say what they tell me to say. Divine feminine, you can be, it's not gender specific, but I am talking to the divine feminine collective. Four of Cups. Okay, interesting. In this deck, let's wait for it to focus. In this deck, she is kind of just sitting there with her 3 cups, and she's not seeing that this angel has a 4th cup that's surrounded by this kind of angelic light. So there's this element of you sitting pretty in your Louis Vuitton, surrounded by your animals, by your cups, by your emotional fulfillment, and you being so close to this angelic choice to go down that road, but you're not seeing it because you're not choosing it. Okay? So Spirit is telling me you're at this crossroads. What you need to understand is that you have a choice. And what you need to do is declare your choice. Do you want the spiritual path where you make money being a spiritual baddie and fully sustaining yourself on the earth by immersing yourself and fully, I heard, liberating yourself, liberating your soul to live its purpose here on earth and to make money that way? And so that you can play on earth as opposed to work on earth? Yo, you just have to choose it. You're not going to know how it's going to come. It's going to come angelically. It's going to come from the ethers. But you are not fulfilled right now, honey. I can see it. You're not, what's the opposite of well off? You're not bad off? You know what I mean? You're not bad off, but you're not fulfilled. The only thing you need to do is choose. Okay? Choose to say yes to the journey. Choose to say yes to a spiritually led life. A life of provision by Spirit. A life provided for by Spirit. A life of freedom, a life of liberation. Declare it, choose it. I can hear some of you going, yeah, but how? But how am I going to pay for my bills? How? Honey, if I knew, I would tell you. I will give you the formula. If I had the step-by-step, the 1, 2, 3, the ABCs, I would print it out for you and send it to you by snail mail. So then you could pin it up on your wall and practice it. But I don't, darling. I don't. And it's different for all of us. So you are a spiritual baddie. You are a high priestess. You are a very intuitive bitch. okay? Not gender specific. You're very intuitive. So you know how to tap into guidance. You know how to tap into the whispers that you receive. You know how to take inspired action. So that's the how, is not knowing the how, but following the inspired action, which sometimes is not given to you in a full equation. Sometimes it's given to you piecemeal. And we know this, right? So you have the way forward in fully surrendering and fully trusting to spirit and to your inner guidance system. I know that's shit, but remember, if I ever get the manual, the equation, the 1, 2, 3, the ABCs, I will send it to you. Promise. I won't gatekeep. Anything else, spirit? Nine of Wands. We're talking about determination. I'm going to get some clarity. Queen of Coins. Ooh. Nine of Coins, Queen of Coins. I think you are determined to make your spiritual path a reality and to make your spiritual path a financially fruitful reality. You want to make a living being your spiritual baddie self. You are determined to make that reality your reality. I think you're just stuck in the yeah, but how? Yeah, but what if? Yeah, but. And that's the stagnancy, the hesitation, the doubt. The feeling that instead of surrendering to making that choice to fully live and surrender into that reality, you have to fully surrender into the reality that you're currently living. I don't know if that made sense because it didn't really make sense to my head, so let's get some more clarity. I'll have to hear this message back. It did make sense. Okay. Queen of Wands. Okay. Listen. As I said that, let me try and reword what I just said. The stagnancy is you feeling that instead of surrendering to the choice to make your spiritual reality financially fruitful and therefore able to provide for you completely and able to provide the ability for you to play on earth as opposed to work on earth, instead of choosing that and surrendering to making that choice and whatever action is required as a product of choosing that, you are surrendering to the stagnancy in the sense of saying, and you're doing this from the point of view that you're doing the right thing, that you're surrendering to your current reality, which is this intersection where you are being provided for by the earthly realm, not by your spiritual gifts. And you're saying, I'm just going to surrender to this because it's good, because it provides for me, because maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. Things are the way they are for a reason. Like, you're trying to be positive about it, and you're kind of holding on without realizing that you're holding on to the reality that you're currently living by surrendering to it, which is, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. It's a bit of a mind fuck, but stick with me. And in continuing to accept and in continuing to tolerate the stagnancy, in continuing to choose, I understand. In continuing to accept and tolerate the stagnancy, in continuing to accept and tolerate the reality that you're currently in, which is this one, which is the one that feels stagnant, you are choosing that reality. You're choosing to stay in that reality. Because what you tolerate perpetuates. Your tolerance level, something inside of you feels stuck, something inside of you feels uncomfortable, something inside of you feels restless, but you're continuing to almost try to soothe yourself to say, oh no, this is just because this is the way things are meant to be. This is, I'm here because I'm supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. But actually, you are being called to action. Can you see how she's pointing one way and the other? This is not in every deck, by the way. I bought this deck today. You're being asked to take action from this crossroads, away from this crossroads. You are in charge of moving yourself out of this crossroads. And the way that you move yourself out of this crossroads is, firstly, you make a declaration and a determination that you are done with the crossroads and you would like to fully step into that financially fruitful spiritual reality where you're fully provided for by spirit just by being your spiritual body self. You make a declaration. Secondly, you tap into your heart. You tap into your intuition. Queen of Wands. Action. Passionate, inspired action. You take action after you're provided with the nudges, with the guidance. You do not continue to tolerate the current reality that you're in. That's how you move forward. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to want to be fully provided for by God, by the universe. That's actually what you came here for. To completely liberate your soul. To live a life completely free from resentment, I heard. Making a sense? Are we following? Last few cards. Knight of Wands. I don't think this is your energy, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I'm just going to get clarity on that. Knight of Coins, but in reverse. Oh. Two more. Bitch, I can't make this up. Oh, shit, it's YouTube. Oh, that's annoying. The Lovers. One more, and I'll speak to this. I can't. Spirit is... This is the Star. Okay. What did I say? The Knight of Wands came out, and I said, I don't think this is your energy. Let me get some clarity. The Knight of Coins came out in reverse, and I said, okay, I think I understand. I think I said that. And then I wanted a bit more confirmation with two more cards. We got the Lovers and the Star. This Knight of Wands coming out before the Knight of Coins in reverse is telling me that there's a divine masculine, not gender specific, that you are connected to either energetically or you've met them. I'm not sure about the specifics. I don't think it's relevant for this reading, so it can apply to both situations. There's a divine masculine that you're connected to that was moving very slow on the journey towards you, that has now, no, I'm being corrected, that will now pick up the pace and change their approach from one of slow, considered, strategic, calculated, etc., to one of passion, of more, I have to, like, this is what I need to do. More passionate, more creative, I heard as well. Faster. The nature of the way on which the way in which they're traveling on this journey towards you is going to completely shift when you make this choice, when you make this determination, when you take this inspired action, when you stop tolerating the stagnancy, when you stop tolerating the crossroads, when you start asking for more, when you start fully accepting and surrendering to the fact that you are here to live a life of purpose, and you recognize that your purpose is to live and breathe spirituality. And remember, I said is, and Spirit said no, will be. This is the divine masculine that you're connected to. Their approach will be changing when you make this determination. You just have to start. You just have to take the inspired action. You start by declaring it out loud, write it down, and then you take the inspired action, okay? To confirm, we had the Lovers, so that just confirms what I'm feeling, what I'm being told, that this was not your energy. This is about your divine masculine counterpart. And as we know, on the divine union journey, everything is connected. Every choice that you make, every word that you speak, every upgrade that you go through, it's all connected. There's a purpose behind everything. What you do in your career, what you choose to do, how you choose to show up at your job is connected. Nothing is separate, right? So this crossroads that you're at is directly correlated to how your divine masculine is going to show up. Okay, there's this, I'm getting this message of, unfortunately, I'm getting this message of, there is a requirement for you to step into your purpose before the divine masculine can step towards you. Because it's contractual. You were always meant to fully liberate your soul. You were always meant to fully step into what you came here to do. You were always meant to fully find yourself, find your light, and shine your bright. Shine your bright, shine your light. You were meant to find your light, shine your light bright before your masculine was allowed to come towards you. And this was by divine design, so that you would find your light, so that you would shine your light bright. So then he could find you. Because if you had not found your light and you were not shining your light, he wouldn't be able to locate you. Making a sense? Yeah? Because that is a different frequency. And your divine masculine, not your toxic ex. Okay? Somebody needed to hear that. Your divine masculine can only find you when you're at your divine feminine frequency. And as we know, the divine feminine goes first in the spiritual. Okay? And then we got the Star, which is just telling me this is all guided. You are being guided. Divine masculine is being guided. Guidance all around, baby cakes. I was guided to deliver this message. I hope, no, they said no. I know this will find the right people. And I want to encourage you to really ask for more and to really get clear and declare what you truly want, because the things in your life that are causing that resistance, the things in your life that are causing that stagnancy, the crossroads that you feel that you're at, the only thing it's doing is it's helping you to get clear on what you do want. And you have to be willing to really sit with yourself and be honest. What do you want? And go as big and go as hard as you want. There are no limits. You are fully worthy and you are fully deserving and you are fully allowed to want to be provided for by the universe abundantly, rich, wealthy, I heard. Okay? think that's it. I love you long time. I'm gonna leave it there. And I'll see you in the next one.